Give me 60 minutes and I'll make your business $5 to $10 million a year. The thing that's going to make your service business hit $5 million a year has nothing to do with fancy marketing hack or some social media strategy that can triple your client base overnight. As much as I would like to sit here and say, and trust me, that would make what I do a lot easier, it just isn't reality. The reality is to grow your service-based business to $5 million in 2025, you need some fundamentals in place, which most business owners, they don't want to do. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the fundamentals and every piece of advice I wish I would have known. So in the end of this video, you have everything you need to scale your business. The foundation of your business isn't fancy marketing funnels or viral content. It's actually something most business owners completely overlook. Yep. Without it, you're essentially building a house on sinking sand. When I show this to my clients, they're often shocked at the simplicity, yet the transformation of it. Financial foundation is what most service businesses get wrong. We need a financial roadmap that clearly shows you how many qualified leads you need to come in to close your revenue goals so we can manage the units and the gross dollars. No more guesswork, no more sticking your head in the sand, right? We have a plan for profit that's included in every service item, every retail item. Quit pulling your prices out of your ass. It's sabotaging you, and me for that matter. When you undercharge your pricing, you discredit the entire industry. You create more dysfunction. We're fighting hard to combat that. I want you to not base your pricing on your self-esteem. I want you to base your pricing on your overhead, your current overhead and your future overhead. You can't afford an assistant because you're too cheap. You can't afford to hire the proper marketing team because you're too cheap, because you're undercharging. Even when you're making millions, you're managing more zeros, but you're still broke. And I can identify my first business, I did $1 million and lost 70 grand. Your P&L is the past, your projections and the forecast is the future. We need to reverse engineer what we need to do every single day, every week, every month, every quarter. I always say math is money and money is fun. I didn't want to do the math, but I love what money can do for me. How many sales calls do you need to be doing? Or your team? What's your closing ratio? Your ads campaigns won't save you if you don't know these stats. We have to have two goals, a must and a stretch. A must is you don't go home until you hit that goal. You keep showing up, you keep being radical, you keep moving forward, you keep tweaking your marketing plan, you follow a script for your sales calls. Your stress is coming from reaction management versus proactive decisions. We have to ask more questions on why we aren't getting the results. No more sprinkle fairy dust. You are accountable and responsible for this results, period. Until you decide to be honest, you will eventually feel like you're behind. This is why I fell in love with the numbers. They gave me clarity on did we do it or did we not? Who was winning and who wasn't? Because the facts is you don't manage your business on feelings or excuses. And trust, my teams could have sexy excuses. I have sexy excuses. I'm traveling, I'm managing 20 people, I'm creating content, or whatever the excuse is. It doesn't matter. What matters is the result. We did it or we didn't do it. My client Ozimba is in the home healthcare business, and he was doing great, but business was inconsistent. Why? Because he was inconsistent. Sometimes he'd sell, sometimes he'd manage the business, sometimes he worked on his other business. No dedicated sales time to sales and forecasting. We're doing about $4 million a year in sales. Within 30 days of working together, we got a contract for $1.3 million in sales. How? We had a plan. We had a strategy. It's not magic. It's not fairy dust. It's finding the money for your business in your industry. He was tracking the past with the P&L, which is important, but not managing the future and possibility. What getting this right looks like is that it unlocks that there's money all around us. You just aren't looking in the right places. If you aren't getting the sales you need, we have a lead issue and a qualified lead issue. If you have qualified leads, then we have a closing issue. You do, or your team doesn't know how to close. By mapping out your numbers and your projections, there's no more guessing, right? We have to hold the team accountable. We can create a clear roadmap to $5 to $10 million. I did the same strategy for a client and we created a $100 million plan. It doesn't have to be hard, but it does have to be strategic. So how is you have a couple options, but we kind of need to know what's going on now So if you knew how to do it, I promise you, you would be doing it. Check your ego at the door. There's nothing wrong with getting support. CPAs and accountants, they're about the past, looking at what you did. They're not trained to look at your KPIs and move the needle forward. That's not their job, right? Your job as an owner is to do that. Hire someone like myself that's strategic, that helps you make it simple in your language. What KPIs will move the needle, not vanity metrics. Who cares if you got 100 leads in if they're not qualified or no one closes? Who cares that you have 1,000 fans or 100,000 fans if no sales comes from it? Be willing to dig deep to understand. Even with perfect financial clarity, I've seen countless businesses plateau at 1 to 2 million because of this next critical element. It's what separates businesses that require the business owner's constant attention from those who create generational wealth while the owners sleep. So let me show you the exact system that transformed one of my clients' businesses. It's operational systems. What most businesses get wrong. The first person I always hire is an operations person. Not someone that I need to tell what to do, but someone that will come in like a boss and see what's missing and what I need to implement. We have to get out of our head. We have to get everything out of our head. All your systems, all your processes. You have to get it out of your team's head. You have to lead a trail. Have you ever had somebody leave and all the data, all the knowledge, all the stuff they created was gone because it was on their computer? Right? It costs us 10x, 10 times somebody's salary when they leave or when we replace them, because you essentially have to start over. That's crazy making. If it's written down and documented, you can now coach from a system versus people's feelings. Now, this can be uncomfortable. I've had people say that I'm mean, I'm scary. No, I'm not mean, I'm not scary. I'm just holding you accountable to your job, to what we're paying you for. Trust, I wasn't always this way. I had to learn. I was mushy, I was soft, right? If it's in your head, everyone has to come to you for approval, for advice, for how to do their job. Why are we paying them if you have to tell them how to do their job? As you grow, this multiplies by every team member. Now you know why you can't get anything done is because you're being lazy about doing what needs to be done. Say goodbye to family time, say goodbye to vacation, say goodbye to personal time, right? You'll always be the bottleneck if we don't get this right. So I have a client that I'm going to use her name Jill because Jill is still the bottleneck. She brought me in to up-level and change the way she was managing a business. What we realized is she was the one creating all the crazy. She would tell people what to do without a process, without an expectation. She didn't train them. And as you can imagine, total breakdown. She would change the project midway through. The project she would forget she delegated the project to somebody else and then gave it to another team member, causing the team members to step on each other. Her need for control, her laziness for not writing things down and not holding the team accountable was costing her millions. We started by implementing basic systems that gave the team clarity.